a look at the plans for the new dual DC power supply. Good afternoon, YouTube. It is 2:45 now in the afternoon. I believe I have the time up there says 1:45, but I haven't changed that clock yet. So it is Sunday, first day of daylight savings time. Oh boy. Here we are today to show you some, well, one thing I got in the mail that I had promised to get in the mail. That's this little Variac, and you can see the size of it compared to my hand. It's a small little thing, and I want to outline some things that I'm going to be doing with this, how I'm going to try to set this up, and show you that here with the other camera in just a bit. But suffice to say, I didn't make a video yesterday. Just wasn't in the mood. You know how that goes. Not much else that's going on really, I don't think. Again, I have to go back to the doctor Friday for my physical, which I'm not really looking forward to. For one thing, I think I've gained a little weight. The winter time, I don't get out at all, hardly, and just, you know, sit there in that chair and don't do anything. So that's neither here nor there. So what I'm doing, like I said, is I'm going to outline my plans for this and try to show you exactly what I want to do with it, and as far as the circuitry and things like that. That'll be part 2 of this. That's going to be on the computer, but I wanted to give you an idea of what I'm looking at as far as where I'm going to put it at and things like that. So let's just get to that right away and get that out of the way. Alright, what I think you can see here is my dual DC power supply in its current state. This is going to be reused. I will be using the both the meters. This is a 0 to 600 volt meter, and this is a 0 to 300 volt meter. Now my power supply, that you'll see by the design when I show it to you, that it's going to be a little higher than that, but I'm just going to have to kind of be careful with it not to go over 300. And same with this, not go over 600. It'll go up to 660, I believe, and this one goes up to 330, I think. So basically that's what that is. Now the rest of this is switch will be here, but it will be a different switch. I have another one ordered. I'll go over that again in just a bit. But my plan for the Variac, and like I said, I was hoping to get away without doing a lot of modifications to this, but basically I want to put it right here and have that my spot to adjust the voltage up and down, and the transformer will be to the right of, or to the left of it actually, and there will be obviously that sticks out too far to I could probably take out the backboard, but I think it's going to be easier just to make a front. Let me get this, hang on a sec, let me get this over the top of it there, like that. And I think I'm going to put this will be a full board going down the whole length of that. But if I put that in there, basically that's going to bring it out, because I'll have a front on it like that. And I can attach the Variac here, and it won't even hit the back of it then. And I think that will also give enough room for the, I'm hoping, for the transformer as well. I think I can go up as high as that if I need to with it. And that gives quite a bit of space underneath there, as you can see. In this area here, I can move this. That's not a big deal. This is movable, obviously. So I have to go over here if I need to. So that's the space I have available, and that's going to make it possible with this extension. Now I'll have to put a little top on it here, you know, to keep things from falling down in there. And but then the bottom will be fine like that. So, but that's what I have in mind for the where I want to put it at. And this has got a, I think you can see if you look under there, you've got a nut, and you know, just like any other control like this, it's got a nut, you know, with a shaft on it, and that's how we'll attach it to this part. And it won't be this one, but it'll be another one. But like I said, that'll be attached there firmly, and hold that securely. Now the only thing on the back side is the wiper itself, and there will, like I say, it won't even be close to that. So I'd say at least a ½ inch between it and the back wall. So that should be fine on that, and I think everything should be just fine with it. So let me, like I said, this here is not a big deal. This just turns the mood lights on and off, and it can go way over that way a little bit more if it needs to, and it will need to. This wire here I can lengthen or whatever I need to do to it and get it over that way a little bit to where it's not in the way anymore. It can go, if I lengthen it and come down here and go down the side, and then I can put these in, and that we get that out of the way. So like I said, there's plenty of I don't know what word I'm looking for, but there's plenty of options, I guess is what I'm looking for, here to get this over here like I want it, and that's where I want to put it. Like I said, it'd be easy to reach here, turn it up and down, and things like that. So I like that part of it, and I think it's going to work out just fine. So let's go into the living room, and we'll get on the computer, and we'll show you what the wiring diagram, schematic, whatever you want to call it, looks like, and we'll see what you think of that. So stay tuned. Well, here we are. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and like I said, of course, the computer keeps time accurately, and as my phone does too. And I did reset the 2 kitchen clocks, the microwave and stove, but I did not set that one in there, so that's the difference in the time, I guess. Anyway, here on the computer, we've got just exactly what I said I wanted to have, and let's look at a couple of things here on the. This is the old dual DC power supply, how it was wired, and basically how it is sitting there on the desk right now. So, like I said again, these meters. This is a 0 to 300 volt DC meter with ammeter. And I think the ammeter goes up to 5 amps if I'm not mistaken on this. It's been a while since I played with it. But I know it was a higher current than this one over here. Now this one goes up to 600 volts, and I believe it only goes up to 1 amp if I'm not mistaken. So that's exactly what I wanted as far as the amperage from these 2 different power supplies. And so, you know, it worked very well. Like I said, the only problem I had with this particular setup is it's tied to my 0 to 150 VAC in. That's the variac on the left side or right side on my workbench, and my big one. And so, you know, I can't use this one as the variac because you know, for the adjustment, because it's tied to the AC, and I have to have AC and DC sometimes. So anyway, long story short, this is the one it was, and the one we're going to is this one here. And I think you can see that it's pretty much the same meter. Again, this is the 0660. This is a 600 volt meter. Again, I'll just have to be careful with that. Same with this one. It's a 330, and it's a 300 volt meter. Just have to be careful. But like I said, it's very similar in design as far as the values have changed on the capacitors and resistors. But other than that, it's pretty much, you know, the same setup. In other words, the meter, you know, is fed the same way, and the network, you know, that takes the voltage from the what do you call it, is the same. Now on the switch, there is a big difference here. Instead of the 2-pole, which I had, or 3-pole, I can't remember, was it 2-pole or 3-pole? 2-pole, okay, yeah. 2-pole, it is the 4-pole. Reason being for that was you have using the power transformer like I'm going to, this is a 480 volt center tap secondary. So I want to be able to switch between the center tapped output, which is going to be the high current, this one here output, and taking the odd or the ends of the what do you call it, which is the 480, and rectifying that, and that will be our high voltage setup here at a reduced current. We have 2 ways of rectification here, and like I say, you have your full wave rectifier here, and you have a full wave bridge here on the two outputs like that. So, but anyway, this other the 3, one goes for the ground, center tap, ground, whatever you want to call it, and when it's switched that way, it goes to this side here like that. And when it goes this way, there's nothing there. It just flapping in the breeze. But the other 2 courses, the other 2 leads from the transformer, the outside ends of the high voltage secondary, and they are switched. And then once you switch them this way, they go to this rectifier here. And like I said, there is no center tap then, and it's just rectifying that 480 then and going down to this. So that's how that's set up. The meter power will be exactly the same as what it is now. There's a 6-volt adapter I have in there wired into that, and that's what this 4th leg is for the meter power, because when it's switched to this way, this meter will be lit up and working, and when it's switched the other way, of course, this one will be lit up and working. Now, it also has the center off position, which I like, because that's just, like I said, that's just a good secondary thing. Now, there will be a main power switch on that little panel that I'm putting in. The one with the variac, it's going to house the variac and the power transformer. Same thing for the fuse. I'm going to use a 2-amp fuse. I think that should be plenty. I think that should be fine. But like I said, that little panel there, besides housing the variac and the power transformer, will have the main switch and the fuse, and that's where that's going to work. You may notice this power transformer has the filament section grayed out. I won't be using that I know of. I may try to find a filament transformer in the future to maybe add to that. I don't know. We'll see. But as it is, using a variac, it's not going to allow this to be driven to the full power that it should be. In other words, the 6.3 volt outputs will be far reduced from that, and like I say, it'd be really unusable for filaments, I think. Besides that, I have quite a few selections on my 970 that it goes up to, what is it, 15 volts, I believe. So that can be used for filaments if I need to. It doesn't have to be AC, it can be DC. So, like I said, that's what I'm planning on doing. That's a good quick look at it. Now, this I do have this capacitor ordered, and I have these ordered here. The C2 on this side is made up of 220 microfarad at 450 volts electrolytic capacitors in series with 270 ohm resistors across each one. Now, Bob suggested that to keep the voltage equal across the capacitors, and because that gives us the 450 in series, that gives us basically a 900 volt range here. That's overkill for 660, I understand, but that was just an easy way of doing it. And same thing with the 450 over here is overkill for the 330, but again, better safe than sorry. So I think that pretty much covers everything. I don't think there was anything else. Like I said, I don't have this 68K resistor. I'm really kind of thinking about doing away with this one here completely, because like Bob said, the 270 ohm resistors across the caps will act like a bleeder. They will be kind of slow, but we'll just have to, I'll play that part by ear and see how that comes out. But if nothing else, I can always buy another resistor to fill that need right there. This side will have the F1, which is the 1 amp slow blow. That's going to remain the same. Just a little added protection, so I don't want to burn anything up. So that's the way that looks, I think. Welcome your comments on this and see what you think about it. And like I said, I'm anxious to get this thing up and running. I always think, for power supplies, it's good to have one of each, you know, AC and DC, and that way you've got pretty much whatever you need. And again, with the 970, I'll have even additional 0 to 15 basically at 5 amps. That's a decent power supply for that one. So I think that's going to work out really good. I really like the way this is shaping up, and like I said, I hope this will work as well as I hope it will. It should. So I've got to find, I may have to find some different diodes for this. I've got the 1N4007s, but I don't know that 1 amp will be sufficient for that. I kind of like to have the I think there's a 3 amp. I think I've got some 3 or 5 amp diodes that I bought for another project that I didn't use. I believe I can use those in here, and I think those will be better than the 1 amps. So this one here, I've got that I don't know, they're 15 amps, I think. Those bridge chips I've got, I can use that in there, or there probably is already one in there, I think. Was there one in there or not? I can't even remember. Let's see. Yeah, there is one. Okay, I probably can use this one here. This is the yeah, this was the high current one here. He's probably already got one in there then, so I'll probably just reuse that one, and that will work just fine, I hope. Anyway, that's a look at everything going on here as far as I know. Lexi's out somewhere doing something. The baby's with my daughter and her husband visiting. So that's about it. Like I say, you guys have a pleasant day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you.